Our next guest is an award-winning actor who took him a Tony back in 2007 for his performance in The Coast of Utopia, but more recently picked up an Emmy for his role in The Morning Show. Take a look.
I need to be a real partner. I need to have a say in the future of this place, okay? I've been out there in the real world for the last 2 years, and I know what people want.
Oh, come on. People don't know what they want until we puree it, spoon it up, and make airplane sounds.
Now, Billy Crudup has flown across the pond for his West End debut in a brand new one-man show that sees him play an incredible 19 characters. Billy joins us now. Good morning, Billy.
Good morning.
You should be asleep. You shouldn't be on this.
That's what I said.
Terrible.
I know. In fact, I'm not used to being in an environment like this and not standing over in the corner judging.
Yeah,
it's really strange, yeah, to be here.
Do you feel like at home, and is it like looking at like a black Jennifer Aniston right now?
Well, I'd be having a talk with you about your attitude if that was the case. And I'd be in a sweet suit, not in my own dumpy clothes.
No, we are going to talk about your show, but seriously, did you ever think it was going to be such a big success, The Morning Show?
You know, having been in the business for a while, it's unpredictable when anything catches people's attention. You don't know why it's going to catch their attention, when it catches their attention. So to be able to play a character like this that's so much fun, so exhilarating, and have people enjoy it is just, it's a dream come true. You know, in your mid-50s, you don't expect it, so it's great.
So nice.
Aww.
So I can't believe it's your West End debut. Like, you're a theatre, you love the theatre.
I have been coming to London for 30 years to see theatre. This is just like a heaven to me.
So this is a love of yours?
It is absolutely. I've been going to theatre. My mom started dragging me to Broadway shows when I was 6 or 7.
So nice that she did.
You know, it was fantastic, and I've always had an incredible affection for that experience. Communing with my fellow theater goers about, you know, a piece that works or doesn't work or what it's about. It's just a part of my life.
Do you remember the first show you saw, like the one that properly entranced you when you were a kid?
Wow, that's what... you know, I can remember one of the first shows I saw when I came to see theater here. This was maybe 20 years ago. It was a production of Caucasian Chalk Circle that was directed by Simon McBurney. He had a theater company called Complicite, and it was absolutely extraordinary. When you go back to, like, when I saw theater in New York, I saw Fences with James Earl Jones, and some Brighton Beach Memoirs with Matthew Broderick, who's on the West End now doing a show. So it's really exciting for me to be in the West End while he's doing a show not too far away, because you know, he was a hero of mine.
But how stressful is it having a one-man show? Like, you literally
it's awful. I'm already thinking about tonight. You're freaking me out. You know, I go through the whole play. I've done it several times now. We did it 6 years ago in New York, and we did it at the theater that I first did a play in New York, a beautiful theater called the Vineyard Theater. It's 150 seats, and it was an experimental kind of production, and mostly that 5-week run, I just tried not to cry the whole time because it was so intimidating and so scary.
Really?
Well, as you get older, your memory doesn't work quite as well as it did when you were younger. So I found, actually, during the first week, I went up, I couldn't remember my line, and I called for line, but we didn't have any system set in place for line. So from the booth, I hear the stage manager go, and I thought, oh, well, I guess I'm on my own here for a while. So that's part of the excitement, too, of coming to see it, is you see someone try to bring this story to life in front of you, knowing that there's no net.
So what is this? It's 19 characters, one-man show. It's by David Cale. What's the storyline?
Well, David had this idea. He's been doing solo performances for years in New York, almost 30 years. And so he had this idea that he wanted to write a thriller. He's actually from England, but he's been living in New York for a while. So in his thriller, he was going to dupe all of his fans that he was not actually from England, that he was from middle of America, and he just wanted to put on an English accent. So this is what this story is about. A young man in Indiana, 8, 9, starts to adopt a British accent just because it feels more like home. He's never been to England. He doesn't know anything about British accents. And his father treats him very poorly. And so this alter ego, who's a sort of London tough guy, comes out of him as well to kind of save him. So, but they're all adopted accents from things that he thinks
So is it
he
kind of
saw
Walter
on
Mitty
TV.
meets talented Mr. Ripley? I mean, is that...
Yeah, precisely. So then what he discovers while he's doing this accent is Americans are completely infatuated with all of you all in the way that you speak. So he starts off with an English accent when his parents die, when he moves to New York, and it turns out people really liked it. And so he kind of involves himself with this whole family with this tough guy accent who's got tons of confidence. Harry Clarke is his name, and he brings out sides of them that they're waiting to be exposed, and because he's free and open, as Philip imagines all London people are.
Oh, wow.
Wide open, ready for love. You know, that's the way he lives his life. And so what he discovers is the Americans are like, oh, that's cool. We want to hear more of that.
Right.
So he becomes involved with that family.
How did you find the accent? Because obviously you're married to Naomi Watts. Did she help you? Did she coach you?
Well, the fact is, one of the conceits of the play is the character has never really been to England, so he doesn't. They're kind of show accents, you know. They're not
chitty, chitty, bang, bang.
accurate. A lot of chitty chitty bang bang. A lot of early Michael Caine, yes, precisely. All of those things. You know, there were thrillers in the 70s, 60s, 70s. Dirk Bogarde and James Mason and stuff, and those were the kinds of things that he loved. So it's all very arch, you know, the way that he speaks.
You said your son's a very good mimic, is that right?
My son's a phenomenal mimic. Any Eastern European accent, he gets like that. I can barely do my own accent. I don't know the way that I'm speaking. I've lived in Texas and North Carolina and Florida, and I try to mimic the people around me to fit in.
Didn't Jennifer Anderson come and see you?
She did. This is why I'm in the morning show, really. She came and saw it, and she said, well, we've got a bunch of different characters in this. Would you read it and see if there's anything you like? And there was this one weirdo, and I said, he's interesting. And so some of the other producers were like, well, he's supposed to be a little younger. And somebody maybe who's working
I can do younger.
And I was like, yeah, give me a dye job. I was like, what do you need here? A little something.
So she was literally your casting director?
She absolutely was. And even, you know, at a certain point, they were like, I'm sorry, you know, you're just too young for it. And I was like, okay, fine. And then I guess they couldn't find anybody else.
Like,
flew me out to L.A. and they were like, well, if you insist. And I was like, I do insist. I've got this guy. Trust me. Let me have him. He's like a New York City angler.
Projects? You love to go a little bit of theatre and probably get immersed in it.
That's the way I've always...
Put yourself through the torture and then...
Well, I've imagined myself as an actor. And when I went to acting school, they sort of instilled in you the belief that you had to be as versatile as possible because careers come and go and there's wherever you can find the light.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, at a certain point in my career, the best parts that I was getting was in the theater. You know, I got to originate American productions of Tom Stoppard and Martin McDonough. I did The Elephant Man on Broadway.
Wow.
And, you know, how do I turn down... I was just talking with one of my co-stars on something else I'm working on, and he said, what did you do after Almost Famous? And I said, I did The Elephant Man on Broadway. And he was like, well, weren't your agents pissed? And I was like, yes, they were really pissed. But what was a better part than that? You know, that's an incredible way to explore new features of yourself as an actor. And so I've always tried to take, as long as I could make my rent, I've always tried to take as many creative choices as I could.
Fantastic.
Billy, we don't say that word in England.
Rent?
No, the other one that you said.
Choices?
So apologies for Billy's colourful language. I know you can say it in America.
What did I say?
The one with the P. And
P to the I to the S to the S.
We don't say that.
Oh,
That's not
really?
Let's not labour the point anymore.
Wait, is that when you're drunk? Is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
what I meant was irritated. I meant unusually irritated. It's my accent.
Exactly.
I said irritated.
Exactly.
You might have heard something else.
Let's see one of Billy's 19 characters, all profanities included.
Yeah, I thought I might have said another word.
Harry Clarke at the Ambassadors Theatre, lovely theatre as well in London. And
Till May 11th.
I'm coming to see it.
Come and see it. I'll entertain you for an hour and 20 minutes, I promise.
We can't wait, Billy.
Somebody will give your money back if you don't like it.